Hi and welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the major classes of biomolecules that are important for human health, including macronutrients as well as micronutrients. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to talk about when we're talking about biomolecules are the macronutrients. So these are the nutrients that we require for intake for continual health in our body. And we really have three large categories: carbohydrates, these are sugar molecules; proteins, these are polypeptides and amino acids; and fat molecules, these are triglycerides, cholesterol, and long-chain fatty acids. Each of these macronutrients do different things for us. So carbohydrates are generally our short-term energy fuel. It's what we convert to energy. Protein is we need continual protein intake so that we can continue to build our muscles. And it might seem like a funny thing if you're not interested in gaining muscle mass, then why would you need to continue to eat protein? Well, in fact, our proteins are constantly being broken down in our body, and they're being excreted. That's why we have urea, which is a nitrogen compound in our urine. That's the nitrogen coming out from broken down protein in our body. So we have to constantly take in protein so that we can maintain kind of a stasis level amount of protein in our body. And then fats are important for a variety of reasons. They're important as they are our cell walls in our body. They are important for the production of hormones, and they're important for a variety of different kind of fuel-related purposes. All three macronutrients are important. The fats and proteins are actually vital for our health. So you must have protein and you must have at least certain fats, such as omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. You technically do not need carbohydrates in your diet. The body can actually synthesize its own carbohydrates. The body cannot synthesize certain proteins and certain fats. But generally, most dietitians, most nutritionists will recommend that you have some ratio of the three macronutrients in your diet, all kind of coming out to somewhere around 2,000 calories worth of macronutrients. The trick is, and much of the controversy, I think, between all nutritional plans is actually the ratio of these macronutrients. Whether you're looking at a plate of 30% protein and a quarter fats and oils and 45% kind of carbohydrates, and all the way over to something which is maybe like a ketogenic diet, which is more like 75% fats, 20% proteins, and just a tiny bit of carbs. So there's a huge amount of variety and variation. And much of the controversy is not necessarily the macronutrients, but what the healthiest ratio of the macronutrients is. So comparatively to micronutrients are all vital, so we need all of them. These are our vitamins and our minerals in our diet. We need them for healthy function of our biological molecules, our biological systems, as well as our immune systems. Unlike macronutrients, we need just a tiny amount of these vitamins and minerals in our diet. To be a vitamin, basically that means that this is a vital molecule that we cannot make ourselves. And so this is a list of all of the vital molecules. We actually we have a couple other variants as well. Some of these we get from certain things. So the retinol, for instance, we can get this from carrots. The orange color of carrots is chemically converted into retinol, which is why people say you should eat carrots for vision. vitamin B12. This is a really common molecule that we get from meats. Vitamin C. This is going to be found and really rich in certain vegetables like bell peppers and a lot of citrus. Vitamin D. This is commonly found in dairy. So we basically, if you eat a pretty rich meal in relatively non-processed foods, so we're talking about fruits and vegetables, you're going to be getting almost all the vitamins that you need. So we need some elements on the periodic table in our body in really quite high abundance. So we need things like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. We need these in high abundance. We need a lot of sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium. We need these in pretty large abundance. And we're going to get these in our macronutrients simply by having protein sources, by having unprocessed meats and veggies and some dairy. You're going to be getting all of these macronutrients. But you also need, actually, interestingly enough, quite a bit of trace elements. So you need all of these things as well in your diet, and you just need just the tiniest amounts of them, in really milligram quantities or microgram quantities. And that's because perhaps we have enzymes and we have other processes in our body which are dependent upon these metals. And so you need a little bit, but the emphasis is on the word little. You need just a tiny, tiny amount of these elements. So we have a very American way of thinking about a lot of things, which is that if a little of something is good, then a lot of something should be great. And that, of course, is definitely not true when it comes to micronutrients. And a lot of people have kind of fallen down this road, and there's been pretty conclusive health studies that show that the micronutrients really should be micro. They should be in very, very small quantities. And really, if you just have a diet that's rich, as I said, in a lot of these vegetables and a lot of dairy, whole grain, wheat and meat, you're going to be getting all the vitamins and minerals that you need. In fact, some vitamins in high dosages actually can cause some pretty severe reactions, such as an allergic reaction, or you can get poisonings of certain vitamins like vitamin A, and minerals are much worse, actually. So minerals, these trace elements, copper, selenium, all chromium, all these ones in microgram quantities are very healthy. They're important for us. We need them, but chromium causes cancer in high dosages. You actually all your hair will fall out, and you'll go quite crazy with high selenium dosages. So a lot of these elements in high dosages overwhelm the body, and you actually have some pretty severe health effects. So macronutrients, you want a lot of. Micronutrients, you just want to stick with a tiny, tiny, tiny amount.